Today I'll be quickly showing you how I scored 63 in CA Final Advanced Auditing and Professional Ethics exam. So I had actually scored 23 marks in the MCQs pattern and 40 out of 70 in the written part of the exam. So this is my mark sheet and I'll show you what I had written and how they have allocated marks to me. I had started with the second question because those were the small straightaway questions where I actually had to write the points rather than thinking. So the question started with listed entity has to obtain compliance certificate. So I directly went to the last part of the exam where they asked actually discuss one situation which may require adverse or qualified statement. So the question is what are the adverse or qualified statement in the compliance certificate. In the suggested answer they have written many points, but since the question were asked for 5 marks, I had just written 5 points. In one of that, 1 point actually is a wrong statement. I don't know why they have given it wrong, though it's a correct statement, but I had scored full marks for each point what I had written. So as simple as that, I've just written when the board does not meet 4 times a year, 1 mark is given for that. When time between 2 meetings are actually 120 days, 1 mark is given for that. So like that, I've written 4 correct points and I've given full 4 marks for my exams. Second question was, what are the matters that can be included in the emphasis matter of paragraph? And that was asked for 5 marks. So all you need to write is 5 points. I did not know the answer, so I had written 2 correct points for this. And for 2 correct points I've got 2 marks for that question. Third question was about professional ethics. So professional ethics, you need to be very careful, because this is the only subject, this is the only topic where you get full 4 marks. So they have asked about something about a lawyer taking professional fee from the client. So I started with the provision as per clause 2 of the part 2 of the schedule 1 of the chartered accountant exams. So and so is deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he accepts and agrees to accept the commission brokerage employment from the lawyer. Okay. So after the provision, they'll be giving 1 mark for that. After that, I have given explanation why the provision is there. After that, I had given fact what is there in the question. After that, I have a conclusion. For each part, they give 1 marks each. So you'll have to start with what is the provision. What is the law actually here? What does the law says? Next thing, what is the understanding? Why that law is there? What you're understanding about that? Third thing is what is given in the question. Just copy paste what is there in the question. What is the fact in the question? And fourth is conclusion, whether he is guilty of professional misconduct or no. They will get full 4 marks for whatever answer you write. So after that, I had directly gone to 4th question. So 4th question was about, even that is a small 5 marks questions. So you have been appointed statutory auditor Moon Limited for the financial year. What do you want to ensure? The closing balance of the previous year. Okay. So the question is ensure that the closing balance are not, there's no misstatement in the opening balances. So about opening balances, there is a essay you'll have to mention as per essay 510 initial audit engagement opening balance. Auditors are required to verify the opening balance are free from material misstatement. This is the opening statement. After that, you have to write the points. What would you do? And for that, I've written some of my own points where I've got, I think I've got 4 out of 5. So just whatever came to my mind I've written, and you may have a look at the essay 510 for more explanation. Next thing, the financial statement of Beta Limited have been prepared by the management due to disclosure related party. This is about related. Mention, just go to the last part of the question where what actually they are asking. Mention the documents and records that may helpful in gathering information about the related parties. So they are just asking what are the documents which would help to gather information about the related party relationship and transactions. So maybe I might have written, yes, I had written section 189, they keep a register that you can check. Minutes of the meeting of the audit committee, you can check whether they have approved and related party transaction. Statement provided the board, whatever statement provided the board to the audit committee for approval of the related party transactions. So this is a simple point, my dear friends. So all you need to try is understand the basic law. What actually they're asking? They're asking what are the documents that could help in getting the information about the related transactions. So just as simple as no need to write in a professional or some of the authors say you have to write what is there in the exam book itself. Yes, you need to have understanding first and to know some knowledge about what they're actually asking. If you write more about related parties, that is not the question here. They're asking what are the information from where you can get related party transaction details. So here's the answer. That's it. LODR details. LODR you can check. Okay, there also I've got full marks of 4 marks. Next one spoke about 4C. This is about whether there is a professional misconduct by the firm with regard to affairs. This does not deal with any of the section or clauses of professional ethics. This just understanding whether the tax audit limit of 20 audits include 44AB and 44AD or not? So this you may just have to check. I did not know the answer, but I had just written whatever facts I know about 44AD, and there I think I've got 2-3 marks. Somehow I got 3 marks because I had written, I did not know the answer, but I wrote this could be the option and that also could be the option. I wrote it could be right, it could be wrong, so somehow I got marks here. Maybe I'm lucky enough to get these marks. And then I went to the first question. First question was, during the audit of data solution in a listed company, your audit manager observed that several estimates are made by the company. This is all about several estimates. He seeks to know guidance on which areas of accounting estimate that may help raise lower risk of related statement. So here they're asking areas of accounting estimates that may give risk to lower level of what estimates. The question is, what estimate would give a lower level of risk of material misstatement? Maybe I did not know the answer, but I had just, yes, I had skipped that answer, I guess. I had directly went to 1B. Okay, maybe I did not know the answer, I just quit it. So after the second question is all about joint auditor 299. This is just to know what is the responsibility of the joint auditors. Look at the last part, they're just asking responsibility of all the 3 joint auditors. Okay, this is the main answer, and these are the facts. So you can interlink the main questions with what they've given in the introduction of the question. So I just interlinked. I mentioned 299 and what does 299 says, and what are the responsibility of the difference of opinion, and facts of the case. Just what these are my understanding. See, there could be 2 options. Mr. Ed provides separate report, 1 report by all reports. So this is my understanding. You can give it in a chart format also. There's no problem. And I gave a conclusion. I got full marks for that. 4 marks I got. After that I went to 1C. 1C spoke about a proprietary firm, ABC Limited Company, has turnover 500 lakh during the financial year 31/3/19. The firm sold land and building. The firm sold land and building during the year for consideration of 15 lakh. Land and building is sold for 15 lakh. Whose stamp duty value 16 lakh. As the tax auditor of the firm, how you did report it. So I think this just the clause 17 of the Form 3 series talks about any land and building are both sold for a consideration less than the value adapted to the stamp duty officer. This section 4350C. Okay, so if you go through the clauses of the Form 3CD, you will get know what else. And the main thing about Form 3CD clauses is that there's a way to write the exam. First, you need to write the reporting requirements under which clause it is mentioned. Reporting requirements under clause 17. This is the clause. Next, what does the law says? Provision. We spoke the same thing in professional ethics as well. What does the law say? First write the law. What does the provision says? Then what is your understanding? What is understanding or what is auditor's consideration? That you'll have to write. For that they give marks. And at the end, reporting our facts. Reporting our fact. What is there in the question? What is the fact? At the end, what is your conclusion? So I think they have given 3 marks. I do not know why they've reduced the marks 1 marks out of the 4. But yeah, 3 marks is 75% of the question marks. So that's a good mark, I feel. Then I went to question 1A about accounting estimates, which I did not know the answer. I had just written some of the points where I got 0. Next I went to 6th question. 6th question spoke about 6th question, what will be your powers in this regard? What are the powers? 6th question spoke about cooperatives, multi-state cooperative society. Okay, you have been appointed by the central registry to conduct the inquiry into the working. So this is a confusing part. They say you have been appointed by the central register to conduct the inquiry. So suddenly what comes to our mind? Okay, they're asking about how do you conclude the inquiry? But the question is, what shall be the powers in this? What is your power? They're not asking how would you conclude the inquiry, but they're asking what are your powers. So I had written initially how would I conclude the inquiry, where they've given complete 0 marks. Okay. So after that I read that they have mentioned what are the powers, the end, and I've just written some of the powers just 5 minutes before the bell, and somehow I got 2 marks here. Next 6C, reversed income under bank audit. How would you reverse the income under in the bank audit? So I had I guess Bansal sir's there's a video on bank audit by CA Bansal. I don't remember the first name. So I think I had written all those points that you have to reverse the income in case of bank audit if in case of there's an NPA, or the reverse income accrued on NPA, or in case of income accrued from prior is including the prior account, and the same shall be reversed in the provision by making the revenue. And how would you reverse the income in case of bank audit? That's all I had written. Next question is all about 145. Describe the powers of the NCL in 145. What are the powers? I don't think I knew this answer, but I wrote what I studied in the what I studied while reading law. So I just mentioned the as per 145 compulsory if tribunal application tribunal on an application made by the CJ company, if the opinion is that auditor may conclude that NCLT may order to change the auditor or remove the auditor. Just at written, they have given 2 marks for maybe I had written some of the points here, facts and the law. So for that they have given 2 marks. I had not an understanding or anything. I think that's all. No, the 5th question was about provision about Ind AS and as per AS and Ind AS, what is the difference? So 5th question, it was about how will you verify income and expenditure of earlier years credited between the current year for reporting. This I did not know the answer, so I just this is 3rd question is all about 51% of shares held by temporary shares held by a company, will that be consolidated at the year end? So this is all about this. There's two views in, there's a different view in AS and there's a different view in Ind AS. So you can have a look at this. This is what I'd written. What is the first I'd written what the section says, what does AS says, then what does Ind AS says, what is the fact here, and what is my final conclusion. However, holding for the same shall be seen during the okay. Then 5B, what are the unexpired risk reserves? So this is this half point. I did not know the answer. I just knew that as on the last date of the financial period along with the year, all the risk of the entity does not expire. Insurance policy taken by the insured will also be continued even after the period. So that's all I had written. And there I am scoring 40 marks in the written part, and I've scored 23 in the MCQ part. And here's some of my tips for CA Final Advanced Auditing. See, at the CA Final level, they check your knowledge. They check how logically you use your knowledge. So when they ask a question, there could be only 2 options. Either you know the answer or you do not know the answer. My suggestion would be, whatever answer you know, just write that first. Or if you do not know the answer, do not go to write your opinion in the exam, in the answer sheet. Because many of the time what happens, we write wrong answers first. Even though we know that we do not know the answer, we just write our opinion in the answer sheets. So my suggestion would be, first write whatever answer you know. For example, question number 2, A, B, C are there. A you know, C you know, and B you do not know. Just because you know A and C, just don't go to write to B as well. Keep some space. Come back after writing all the correct answer, then come back to B, because even if you write your opinion, they will not be giving marks to you. It should be as per whatever the study material said, or whatever the real understanding is. What we tend to write our opinion in the answers which is not right, you'll not be getting good marks for that. If you write wrong answers in the beginning, that would actually give a bad impression to the evaluator. So one more thing is, and you won't get time at the end to write the correct answers as well. So write all the correct answers. If the question is 5 marks, just write 5 points or 6 points. That's enough. Do not go to write 10 points just because you know all the answers. It's okay. Come back and then write whatever answers, whatever remaining answer that we supposed to write in the beginning. Come back and then write the exams. Second thing is, prepare well for the exam. You cannot leave any topic in CA Final Audit. Just do not leave. Just because somebody says you can leave the one subject. Just go through. Just read. Just understand. Do not. The chapter which you feel is difficult to by heart or difficult to keep in the mind, just read 2-3 times enough. Do not go to by heart the answers, or do not go to by heart the topics. Just read. And if you want me to do ABC analysis, then first you need to be very, very thorough with the clauses of profession, because that is there at least you'll be scoring minimum 12 to 16 marks. So I think you should not be leaving professional ethics for any matter. Next, I think after professional ethics you can go with the peer review, because there at least for sure you'll be getting 4-5 marks. And also do not leave these small chapters like multi-state cooperative society, because these answers are similar to what your Companies Act says. Some of the answers are very similar to what your Companies Act provisions are. So do not leave those chapters. And internal controls, try to link internal control with the provisions. For example, you can link internal control section 128, I don't remember the section 138, then link it with the internal controls. What does the audit procedure says about internal controls? Try to link Companies Act, and SCA provisions together. Sometimes what happens, Ind AS question comes. Try to link Ind AS, try to link AS, Ind AS, Companies Act, and audit procedures. Give your mind some work to make your mind such a way that you're supposed to think, how does AS work? How AS is different from Ind AS? How AS is different from Companies Act? What are the similarities in Companies Act and SCA? So these are the interlinking that you're supposed to do at the CA final level. Last but not the least, do not leave any chapters. Just go through all the chapters at least once, even if it's difficult for you, and write the correct answers first. Leave the space for the opinion that you think you would be knowing, or you're not sure of it. If you're not sure of it, don't write. Come back at the end, because there you'll get the time. Once you write all the correct answer, you'll be finishing correct answers within 1 hour maybe. After that, you get 1.5 hours just to write your opinions, because of course, we all would not be knowing all the answers. Nobody scores 100 in audit. So here's my tips. I hope you guys come out with flying colors in August.